Hello and welcome to this episode of Have You Seen? Another movie I saw far too young. We've been here before. You've seen the others. I hope so. This video we will talk about the king of the slasher, the ultimate dream warrior. Of course, we are diving deep into the spine-chilling world of Wes Craven's classic A Nightmare on Elm Street. A groundbreaking horror film that left a mark on the genre. Obviously it did. I remember watching Nightmare on Elm Street for the first time when I was about, I want to say 13 years old, give or take. You know, roughly that sort of age. We had cable TV back then, and the movie channels used to rate films differently than they normally do with the BBFC. So this was the first film that I saw that was an 11. That doesn't mean you have to be 11 years old or older to watch it. Basically means this film would only play after 11 p.m. Now they've changed their ways and back to the BBFC rating system. So like 12, 15, 18. Or, as it is modern times, the films are pin protected. So you can watch a film whenever you want or just watch it at 9 o'clock. I had heard of A Nightmare on Elm Street and I knew there was no werewolves in it, so I didn't turn it off. As some of you are aware, I have a morbid fear of werewolves. If not, you can watch my talk on American Werewolf in London up here, or I'll leave it in the description section.
You're not having a good time, are you?
As normal, spoilers ahead. There will be spoilers. A Nightmare on Elm Street is about a group of young teenagers that keep having nightmares about a man with a burnt face and a glove with knives attached to it. When at a sleepover, Tina, one of the characters, dreams of being attacked by a man. But in the real world, her boyfriend is woken by her screaming to see her being brutally murdered by nothing. There's nothing there. She's getting dragged on the ceiling at one point. It is crazy and terrifying. The boyfriend is obviously blamed for the murder. Nancy, who is our hero, the main character, played by Heather Langenkamp, I always say her name wrong. She beat a lot of people, a lot of famous actresses to get the part. So Jennifer Grey, Demi Moore, Courtney Cox. Obviously, Courtney Cox actually did go into a Wes Craven film and star in the movie Scream and the sequels. So anyhow, Tina's boyfriend is arrested for her murder. But before he's caught, he speaks to Nancy about this burnt man. And Nancy's like, oh no, me too. Nancy too is having these nightmares. Tina's boyfriend is then killed in prison by this guy, Freddy, obviously. The police think it's suicide because he's strangled. Nancy tries to stay awake, but every time she nods off, he's there trying to kill her. She then asks her boyfriend Glenn, who is played by a very young, in his very first role, Johnny Depp, who actually only got the part because of Wes Craven's daughter, who said he was dreamy, and obviously that she would run away if he wasn't given the part, which is fair enough. Nancy asks him to stay awake and watch her sleep, and as she's trying to go into the dream and bring him back, Glenn obviously falls asleep, and well, there's a scene with a lot of blood. A lot of blood. Filming that scene was actually pretty crazy. They built a room upside down and then poured water blood through it. It's mad. You have to see it. If you haven't seen it, watch it. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Nancy, even though her boyfriend has just died, she still attempts to bring Freddy into the real world. Surprisingly, she succeeds, and then they battle. That's it. That's pretty much what happens in The Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm not going to spoil the whole thing. You need to watch it. It's a classic. Definitely a classic and iconic. Now, let's talk a little bit about the history of Elm Street and how it saved a production company. See, Wes Craven first came up with the idea, or the basic idea of the movie, after reading some articles in the LA Times. A group of Southeast Asian refugees had come to the US. Within a year of arriving in the US, 3 of them had died in similar situations, and then the youngest man, otherwise a healthy man, would have these nightmares and then refuse to sleep for as long as he could. And when he finally did fall asleep from exhaustion, he woke up screaming and then died. Creepy, right? His autopsy report revealed he had not died from heart failure, he had just simply died. Even weirder. These articles had intrigued Craven so much that it became the seed of him creating Freddy Krueger, a vengeful spirit haunting people's dreams. Translating these articles into a gripping script required a delicate balance. Craven skillfully wove elements of his own dreams into the narrative to blend the surreal and the terrifying. Craven's method of infusing his own nightmares into characters' experiences elevated the stakes, making the horror more personal and relatable, really. Nightmare on Elm Street was brought to life by New Line Cinema, a company at the time struggling quite a lot. And if Elm Street hadn't made any money, they were done for. That was it. No more New Line Cinema. Facing financial challenges, the team had to be creative with their resources. The iconic glove worn by Freddy Krueger, for instance, was created on a shoestring budget and has become recognisable around the world. You can go up to kids and show them the glove and they know what it is. It's odd. Kids shouldn't be watching this film. It's for over 18s only. The film's success also relied heavily on the casting of Robert Englund, who was the perfect choice to play Freddy Krueger. He delivered a brilliant performance and terrified people and made himself an icon in the horror world. He is iconic. Crucial to the film's success was the development of characters who felt genuinely haunted by their nightmares. Nancy, who was played by Heather Langenkamp, I always say her name wrong, maybe, became the audience's channel into this surreal world. The seamless blend of reality and dream sequences created a definite unsettling atmosphere. Costing $1.8 million to make and making $25 million worldwide, it definitely saved New Line Cinema. Thus, why the company is known as the house that Freddy built, because without Freddy, they were done for. The film's success spawned sequels, merchandise, crossovers with other horror icons. You've all seen Freddy vs. Jason, and a TV series, which I've never seen. There has been talk of Elm Street finally getting a 4K upgrade. I'm not sure who, but if any company would do it, I'd like it to either be Arrow or Second Sight, because they make some great 4K discs. There's even talk of a remake, which I don't think they should do because the 2010 one was fine. It wasn't great. Well, that has been a little talk on A Nightmare on Elm Street. We hope you learned something and it inspired you to watch Elm Street again, or even for the first time, or even one of the sequels. There is a documentary on Nightmare 2 called Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street, which is worth a watch. It's very interesting. Have you seen A Nightmare on Elm Street? Write in the comment section down below what your favourite scene is. Thanks for watching our little talk on Elm Street. If you enjoyed this one, why not watch one of these videos on another film I saw far too young? Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next video, and I will see you next time.